Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs. I am your host, Majestic Marie, and I know what you guys are thinking. What in the heck is going on? It's a Friday afternoon. You guys are usually not here on a Friday afternoon. What are you doing? Why are you here? I am here because I felt like it, because I wanted to be here. That is why I'm here. I really don't even have much of a set list. I just wanted to talk some wrestling with some of my favorite people in the world, and that is you guys who join us every week here on Peaches and Power Bombs. Thank you so much for being here. If you are here, please make sure you leave a comment, join the conversation, ask me a question. We're here to talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. I have some ideas, but we'll get to them. We'll get to them if you like. So, we'll just go ahead and do the business, even though this is unprompt and, we're not supposed to be here. But we're here anyway. So make sure you do all the things, guys. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Peaches and Power Bombs. Tell them, hey, that Majestic Marie over there on Peaches and Power Bombs, she just goes live whenever she feels like it. She gives us impromptu live stream shows. So make sure you let everybody know about us. And let's see who is here. I have a comment already. Yay. Who is here? Oh, my girl. She says, "Hello, young lady. How are you this evening? I am doing much better today. Last night was a struggle. I was very tired. I could tell that my energy levels were just plummeting to the ground, and I we were supposed to be here with a special guest, Eric Nelson, to talk about a really awesome show coming up in June, but I could not make that. So we're going to reschedule. We're going to reschedule really soon. So make sure you guys stay on top for that. So, without further ado, guys, we are going to let the Briscoe brothers get us all hyped up.
Ain't no way, chick. Ain't ready. There ain't no way, man. Ain't ready. Ain't no way y'all could possibly be ready.
You can say you're ready as many times as you want.
That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Y'all boys ain't ready.
There's no way, man. Talking about they anxious. You hear him, chick?
Hey,
somebody losing sleep.
They losing sleep, baby. Man, I've been getting the best sleep of my life.
I've been snoring, baby.
Snoring,
I've been snoring.
dreaming about this ass.
All right, guys. So let me know what you all want to talk about. I will bring them up. We will talk about whatever it is. And I have some things that I would like to talk about as well. But, I did want to open the floor just a little bit and see what you guys. Thank you, Christine, for that. I am feeling better very much. Got a good night's sleep. Energy levels are a little bit back. So that's a good thing. All right. So today, I kind of want to mostly talk about the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring as well. Just some things that have been on my mind. It feels like already, and we just got started, y'all, on this King of the Ring tournament. The first round started on Monday Night Raw. There's going to be some matches not on television, they're going to be at main event, live event house shows. So we won't see all of the matches, unfortunately. I'm kind of sad about that. There's a Raw side and a SmackDown side, and the winners of each side of Raw and SmackDown will meet at the pay-per-view King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia here in a few weeks. The finalists will meet each other to determine the winner. So that is how all of that is going. Unfortunately, we look like we're a little bit cursed as far as this tournament is going on. And Bobby Lashley was announced that he is injured and he is going to be unable to participate in the King of the Ring tournament. So that is unfortunate. All best wishes to Bobby Lashley. Drew McIntyre is also out of the tournament. I think I don't know if it should be legitimate. but Drew McIntyre is unable to be in the tournament as well. And Asuka is also out of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So we have 3 separate people who got injured reportedly. I'm guessing it's legit. We got 3 people who are now out of the King or Queen of the Ring tournament coming up here in a few weeks. And the SmackDown side starts tonight. Now, from all the participants that I see, let me go ahead and bring up those brackets. Uh-huh. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, guys, I don't know if you can see this, but it looks like so Gunther is in it, Ilya Dragunov is in it, Jey Uso, and coming up, Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Angelo Dawkins, Tama Tonga, Baron Corbin, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight versus Santo Escobar. And it looks like the ones tonight is Randy Orton and AJ Styles. And then Angelo Dawkins versus Tama Tonga. Okay, so out of everybody, well, the ones tonight I see. This one is tough. Because both of these guys just suffered a loss on at Backlash. And they both need wins. I would probably say Randy Orton wins this match. And then this one, I see Tama Tonga winning this match. All right, let me see. Stop sharing. No. Okay. I'm just I'm not really sure. Honestly, it's difficult because you have Randy Orton, you have LA Knight who really needs something. Tama Tonga just got there. I don't know if we should have him be losing yet. Carmelo Hayes has just started as well. And then of course up here is who I thought was gonna probably be a sure bet in winning was Gunther. I don't know. Probably I would either pick Gunther or Randy Orton to win. I did not know until last night that the winner of the King of the Ring tournament gets a future shot at the world title. And if that's the case, oh, it's so difficult. Guys, tell me what you think. Who would you pick? Who would you pick for this? This is hard. You know what? Okay. This is what I'm going to say. I want to see Ilya and Dragunov versus Gunther for the Raw finals. That's what I'm going to say. And then For the SmackDown, I'll say LA Knight versus Tama Tonga. No. Yeah, LA Knight. No. I don't know. I don't know. This is difficult. Why do they have to make this so hard? Tama Tonga just throws everything off because, bro, I don't want him to win the King of the Ring tournament, but I also don't want him losing anything. Okay. Either have Gunther win or you have Randy Orton win. Gunther, because it would just elevate him into something really big following. And just because I love Gunther and I hate to see him lose. Christine says, I stumbled on a live King of the Ring from 2015 between Wade Barrett and Neville. What a match. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to go back. I remember seeing that, but I don't remember what happened that match. That's awesome. It would be a great match with Ilya winning. I don't know about Ilya winning. I would probably have Gunther win, but you know, he's my favorite. But you like Ilya, so of course you want Ilya win, and that's fine. I don't know. This King of the Ring is tough. Is tough to fantasy book. You know, we put our little thinking caps on and we try to think. I think it would do more for Gunther, for as far as like character and career wise. As far as storyline goes, I would probably pick Randy Orton, and just for the fact that a the winner of this gets a future world title match, and I didn't know that until last night. So if Randy Orton wins this, then we could have eventually maybe a Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes teacher versus mentor type thing going on in the summer, and that would be really fun. All right, on the women's side, okay. We have Io Sky in this thing still. She defeated Natalia. Lyra Valkyria defeated Dakota Kai. So we got Io, Lyra, we got Lyra, sorry. Io, Lyra, Zoe Stark. We have Shayna Baszler and Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega won the very first Queen of the Ring tournament. We have Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae tonight. Bianca's winning that. Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven tonight. Jade is winning that. Naomi versus Nia Jax tonight. I can probably see Nia winning that. And this last one, we don't have any idea who is here. The women is difficult too. Goodness, it seems like almost there's a lot of heels and not that many baby faces. Like I would say Nia Jax in the finals, but she's on the same side as Jade and Bianca. The way they have this thing set up, if Bianca Belair wins her match and Jade Cargill wins her match, then they will be facing each other like the next time. And I don't know if that's smart to give that match away already. And on the Raw side, I have no idea. Okay, on the Raw side, I would say either Io Sky or Zoe Stark. And then on the SmackDown side, either you have Bianca Belair or Nia Jax. Bianca and Jade will face off in the finals, but in their next match, but Bianca Belair barely wins, and that might create something between the two of them eventually. I don't know. It's odd. Be a great David versus Goliath, Gunther versus Ilya. Yeah, that would be awesome. Alma is here. Hi, Alma. She says, "How are you doing? I'm doing okay, just tired. For the past 3 weeks, been storms. Yep, storms. Oh, moving, renovation. Oh my, you've been really busy. Yeah, your backs and arms. I can guess. I can guess that you are in some pain after all of that. Erica is here. And Alma is choosing Zoe Stark, okay? And Christina's also choosing Zoe Stark. So we have two choices for Zoe Stark there. So she might be a fan favorite. It's difficult to choose because you think about what it does for them going forward. They get a future title shot. Both of our champions at the moment, both Becky Lynch and Bailey, are somewhat baby faces. So you would naturally think that a heel would win this. So that's why I'm probably leaning towards more like either Zoe Stark or Nia Jax winning. I don't know. It's really difficult to choose, especially if Bianca Belair or Jade is going on in the finals. It would be difficult um to make it make sense for them to lose. And I don't know if I want them to lose yet. I don't know if I want seeds to be planted where they hint at Jade and Bianca Belair kind of giving each other a side eye, but I don't know if we should actually make a full on I'm going to attack you type thing yet. Shouldn't have a turn yet. And I don't know if we should even take the like them butting heads at each other, even facing each other. So it's hard. I don't know if I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but it's going to be fun and we're going to wait and see and I'm excited about it. All right, we already talked about that. All right, guys, if you're here, let me know what's going on. If you want to talk about something going on in wrestling, leave me a comment. We're just kind of hanging out today. This is not really a real set. Christine says, I wish they hadn't brought Nia back. She is vicious. Yeah, she is definitely a controversial character to say the least. She knows everybody does not like her. No one really likes her as far as fans go. And she knows it. She knows it. She embraces it. And I think she does a good job of using that heat that she gets from the fans and using it to her advantage. So, although she does have some shortcomings and she could, she's got some things to work on. I guess everybody does. No one's perfect. But she plays to her strengths. So, and that's one of her strengths is using that heat and using that monster heat that she gets and using it to her advantage. So kudos to Nia Jax for doing that. So yeah, it's going to be a fun couple weeks to see who wins this King and Queen of the Ring tournament. They did just win the tag team titles, talking about Bianca and Jade. They did just win the tag team titles, and they should just blow through that tournament. Like, they should just blow through the competition, right? And just look dominant and strong. And when they finally do lose those tag team championships, it'll be their own demise, like not really what anybody else did to them, but they kind of imploded and did it to themselves. I would do that. But we'll see what happens. I want to talk a little bit about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. What do you guys think about what's going on? I know I saw some stuff online about people hating on CM Punk's promo this past Monday night. And I have one word for you guys there.
Fickle. They're fickle.
What was wrong with CM Punk's promo on Monday night? If you hated it, let me know why. I thought he did a fine job of communicating what he wanted to communicate. And for the people who were saying, oh, we don't need CM Punk to talk about Drew McIntyre and how he hates Drew McIntyre to knock off a match. And while, yes, I understand a lot of people want to see the matches and everything, CM Punk is one of your biggest stars in the company. Drew McIntyre is one of your biggest stars in the company. And CM Punk will bring more eyeballs to the product than a random match. So I understand what they're doing here. I mean, I would have done the same thing. Oh, CM Punk can show up tonight and talk for 15 minutes, talk for 10 minutes, whatever it was. Yes, let's do that. We're going that way because that'll be a big segment on our show that people want to see. It really doesn't matter what CM Punk is talking about. People are going to freak out over it. People gravitate towards him. Whether you like him or you hate him, there's really that. You either like him or you hate him. I don't know of anybody who's indifferent. He is a polarizing character. It's one or the other. You hate or you like. There's no in between. So with that kind of an attention magnet, I would put that on my television show too. Okay? So that's where they're coming from with that. And to me, this has been this has been so much fun to see for me. Christine says that's getting old, wasted airtime. Not to me. I'm invested. I know I might be a little bit biased in that regards. I love CM Punk. He was the reason why I got back into wrestling. Well, not back into wrestling completely, but he's the reason why I started watching wrestling on television again back in 2011. So he has a soft spot in my heart, for Mr. CM Punk. So I'm always happy to see him. Okay, Erica, we'll talk about that in just a second. But let me finish up with this thought and then we'll move on. We'll move on to that because I'm excited about that too. I'm happy about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I don't know what this injury thing with Drew McIntyre is. I'm guessing it's legitimate. And hopefully he's just out for like a week or two or whatever. And he and CM Punk continue to build this little thing that they're going on, this little cat and mouse game that they're playing. Neither one of them are technically, medically cleared. So we can't do a full-on brawl yet. But it's been a fun cat and mouse game. The more they're not touching each other, the more invested I'm getting because the more that buildup happens to where you finally want to see these two, go at it, right? Like it's going to get to the point where people are chomping at the bit. Oh my goodness. I want to see CM Punk and Drew McIntyre fight. CM Punk runs his mouth on Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre runs his mouth on social media. These guys just keep flinging mud at each other. I want to see these two legitimately fight. And this summer is going to be fun with that. Christine says, I'm a huge McIntyre fan, but not crazy about his change. Yeah, he's a little bit of a troll right now, and it's been fun to watch. But I can understand why that might rub people the wrong way. All right, Erica, we're going to talk about your little thing now. She says, I want to talk about this anarchy in the arena match. Yay. For Double or Nothing and Dax and Catch's partners, you were definitely on my mind when Eddie Kingston came out. Yay. You know, that is really funny. I love it when that happens. Every time Eddie Kingston shows up on television, I get messages either from you guys or from friends or family or whatever, like, oh, look, it's Eddie Kingston. Yay, I bet you're happy. Or if he loses or he gets hurt or something like that or gets beat up, you know, I get messages like, oh no, I bet Majestic Marie, she's not happy right now. Watch out. And that's true. So yes, I'm excited about this. I I think it's a little rushed. I think it's a little rushed. And they could have done some more interesting things with this besides just coming out and announcing this. All right. So FTR is a natural FTR right here. FTR is a natural selection, right? For Team AEW. And I understand why they're in this match. Number one, I think the Anarchy in the Arena match is a little too rushed. We should have had maybe like an FTR versus Young Bucks again, or something, uh, before we go into this. But with that being said, you know that you know the but it's said and done already. So we're just going to move forward with what we have. And so I would have had FTR, of course, announced, and then them approaching Eddie Kingston. And Eddie Kingston's, yeah, like, yeah, of course I'll be in this match, you know. Team AEW. I hate the Young Bucks. I hate Okada. Okada took my Continental Classic Championship. You know, I've lost to him twice. I'm sick of him. I want to get back at him. I have personal stuff against him as well. So yes, Eddie Kingston in. And then you approach Bryan Danielson. The last time we saw Bryan Danielson was on Dynasty, and he did kind of like a I'm hurt thing. You know, he was grabbing it, you know, he was doing like an injury angle type thing. So that's the last time we saw Bryan Danielson was losing to Will Ospreay in that regard. Also, the last time we saw Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston together, they didn't like each other. And I know they kind of have like, okay, you beat me twice. I now respect you type thing. That doesn't necessarily mean that Bryan Danielson all of a sudden likes Eddie Kingston and is willing to be on the same team as him. So I would have stretched that out a little bit more with FTR and Eddie Kings. FTR trying to convince Bryan Danielson to be on Team AEW to, you know, reconcile with Eddie Kingston a little bit, put all that personal stuff aside, and coming together for Team AEW. That's the way I would have done it, but they didn't do that. They just decided to just up and announce Eddie Kingston, which is fine, and up and announce Bryan Danielson. I was excited to see everybody. I know it might have been a let down for somebody else, but you know what? This is my channel and we're excited. We're just excited about it. So I'm looking at it just from a fan perspective. So we'll see. Thought of you immediately. Yes. Erica said, I was totally not expecting Eddie and Danielson. I agree. I think it's rushed just a little bit. The problem with AEW, one of the problems with AEW, and I don't want to sound like I'm always downing on AEW. I like AEW. I watch it every week. It's probably the only show that I actually watch live while it's happening. All the other shows I watch the recording of it. So there's that part. I like AEW. It's one of my favorite. You know, I like watching it. It has a lot of people that I just absolutely love on it. So I want to make sure that I watch it all the time. But they're not perfect. Nobody is. Like I said, WWE does some things wrong that I don't understand. And of course, AEW does things that I don't understand on there either. And one of the things that AEW does that kind of has me scratching my head a little bit is that they always get ahead of themselves, and they get it's like a kid, you know, getting really excited about the fresh chocolate chip cookies that his mom bought, that his mom made for him. But she says, okay, you have to wait after dinner. And he doesn't. He just rushes in and sneaks one and eats it before he's supposed to. And then he doesn't get to enjoy it with the rest of the family later on. AEW wants to eat their cookie now. They don't want to wait until the appropriate time to where they can actually, and where the storyline and everything could be at its best. So that's just the way they just get ahead of themselves and get excited. Ooh, 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 this is what I want to do. They don't let things breathe. They don't let things build sometimes. And they just get ahead of themselves and just, we're going to rush to this. Now, some things are completely different. It's really funny that it happens all on the same show, because there's some stories that are like really inching along and building and slowly getting there, and then stuff like this, we get, ooh, I want this right now, and they do it, and there's no build, and it's rushed. But Erica said, I thought the whole time that they would have an 8 tag team match when Kenny was cleared, and it would be Matt, Nick, Okada, and Jack Perry versus Dax Cash, Adam Page, and Kenny, or Matt, Nick, Okada, Jack Perry versus Dax Cash, Kenny, and Pac. I understand that. Kenny Omega is still not actually officially medically cleared yet. It'll probably be a few months before Kenny Omega is cleared. So I understand not using him yet, but they could have used the same people that they have right now for that 8-man tag match, or someone different besides Bryan Danielson yet. Do an 8-man tag match with, the Elite, the Bucks, Okada, Jack Perry versus Dax Cash, Eddie Kingston, Adam Page, or somebody, and then just slowly build to the Anarchy in the Arena match, where just things finally come to a head where they have to settle this once and for all. And then slowly bring Bryan Danielson in this somehow. I don't know. I wouldn't have just announced Bryan Danielson. Erica says, right, I knew he wasn't. That's why, like you said, stretch it a bit. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited about it just because I like, it's weird. I like what the Young Bucks are doing. I never thought I would say that sentence ever, but I like what the Young Bucks are doing. I like this snivelly little EVP stuff that they're doing. Jack Perry is doing a really good job of just being, a mealy mouth little, jerk face. So that's been fun. Who else is with them? Oh, Okada's just there. Okada's just hanging out. He's just like, how you doing, AEW? What's up? I'm here. How you doing? I don't really have a purpose right now. I'm just chilling and doing whatever. That's just, he doesn't fit in with the Young Bucks, and he doesn't really fit in with Jack Perry. So him being there doesn't make much sense to me, but who am I? I'm just a little girl with a with a little podcast on Facebook. So, no one's going to listen to me. Erica says the people I mentioned that would be a match and storyline when Kenny is cleared. Yeah, it would be fun. When Kenny is cleared, I don't know what they'll do at first, but I know they'll probably build up to him versus Okada. They kind of teased at that last week. Maybe if he's cleared by Wembley, do it there at All In London. Christine says, I like FTR. They are good. I hope they get another title shot and win. I love FTR. They are my favorite tag team of all time. I got my FTR hat on here. I love them to death. I don't know if I want to see them versus the Young Bucks again for the tag team titles right away, but it is what it is. I do have to say, when the Young Bucks have the tag team titles, they do make it a little bit more interesting. Although the tag team championships are kind of on the back burner with this whole EVP Team AEW thing. Thank you. Christine says, oh, stop. You have a great podcast. Thank you. I enjoy it. It's just something fun for me to do, to come out and talk about wrestling with all of you fine, lovely peaches out there. So it's been fun. Let me see what else I have on this list. Let me know. Erica was talking about the Anarchy the Arena match. So if you guys have anything else y'all would like to talk about, how do y'all feel about Serena Deeb and Tony Storm right now? I know some people were complaining about Serena's promo, and yeah, it fell a little bit. She got right back on it and it was fine. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard in my life, but it wasn't fantastic. The match itself with her and Tony Storm's going to be a lot of fun, although it feels kind of out of place, like it doesn't fit right now. It seems like it's getting overshadowed by this Mariah May thing going on that she has with her old friend from Stardom, with Mina, and I can't think of Mina's last name. But this whole thing with Mariah May and Mina, Mariah acts a completely different way when she's with her old Stardom friends than she does when she's with Tony Storm. So that's interesting. If it were me, I don't know, maybe they'll do this. You know what? They might do this for Forbidden Door. If we have Tony Storm and Mariah May versus Mina and another Stardom girl for Forbidden Door, it puts Mariah May in a dilemma. Is she going to, attack her old friend? Is she going to turn against her old friend Mina? Or is she going to stay with Tony Storm? So if you set up this whole tag team match, you can kind of set up that dilemma where she doesn't want to attack her old, wrestle against her old friend or something like that. She doesn't want to attack. She doesn't want to do the maniacal little heel things against her friend. I don't know. Maybe do something as far as that's concerned. Create a dilemma between Mariah May. Make her choose between the two. Because right now she has her cake and she can eat it too. And eventually she ain't going to be able to do that. So I think that would set up, I think that's eventually what we're going to get to, is Tony Storm versus Mariah May for the title. That's going to be the thing. Because if you watch some old if you watch the old Hollywood movies, like with Betty Davis, you know, the Luther character is based off of Sunset Boulevard and things like that, and it's been a lot of fun. It's so much fun to watch. It's very niche, and I tell you what, guys, if you are on X or Twitter or whatever, go tweet out to Jack Farmer. Go tweet out to him. He's on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. We had him on Peaches and Power Bombs a couple weeks ago. Make sure you check that out on our YouTube channel as well. Go tweet out to Jack Farmer and the other guys on Wrestling Inc. podcast that you would like to see Majestic Marie come on the Wink podcast at least once for their AEW Dynamite review show, because they're not they're really confused about this Mariah May storyline, and I would love to go on there and talk about it, and because it is one thing, it's probably the most fascinating stories on AEW right now, but the problem is that it is so niche that most people, the majority of people, are not understanding what's going on at all, because it's very niche, and because there's a lot of references to these old Hollywood movies like All About Eve, like Sunset Boulevard. So how many people nowadays, out of the people who watch professional wrestling, which, let's be honest, the majority of people who watch professional wrestling, AEW in particular, are men from the ages of 18 to 39. Honestly, how many of those people have seen movies from the 1950s, especially that are starring, female roles like Betty Davis? Who watches that? Nobody does. So they're not understanding the little hints and the little references that they're making with this storyline, with the movie. Mariah May is kind of based off of the character Eve from All About Eve, and the Luther character is based off of the butler from Sunset Boulevard, and all of these things like that. So it makes sense that a lot of people just aren't really understanding what's going on, and I would love to be able to explain it to people. So it's one thing that I'm just enjoying watching. It's very fascinating, but it is niche. So I get it. I get it. So hopefully, maybe it'll work out. But on the other side of AEW, with the other women's title that we have, is the TBS Championship. And right now, that champion is Willow Nightingale. I love Willow Nightingale. She is very likable, very lovable. I don't ever see her being a heel convincingly. I don't know, maybe she has another side to her, but she just comes out very likable and lovable. I know if I was 6 years old, Willow Nightingale would probably be my favorite wrestler, just because of how bubbly and happy and colorful she is. And to me, Mercedes Moné is the natural heel in this scenario. She's still kind of playing the baby face. I'm happy to be here. This is my dream to wrestle, and I just wanted to come here and wrestle the best, and blah, blah, blah. She's still kind of playing that game a little bit. But, this match that she's going to have with Willow is going to be pretty good on the pay-per-view. And if it were up to me, I would actually have Willow win this match, and Mercedes Moné just going full on heel on her after that. But like I said, I'm just a little girl with a podcast. I'm nothing. just a thought, just a fun little thought. Christine says, Love her. Talking about Willow. Do not make want her to turn. She can't. No, I don't want Willow Nightingale to turn heel either. That would hurt my feelings. Christine says probably not many. There may be a few, but not a lot. That's talking about how many people have seen, the old 1950 movies that Tony Storm is referencing to in her, in her character right now. Make her choose. Phony. Yeah, Mercedes Monet doesn't feel authentic right now. It's I don't know. It's coming off as rehearsed. Like I'm playing a character on television other than um just, you know, presenting someone that feels authentic. It doesn't feel authentic. All right, guys, what else do y'all want to talk about? We talked about the women's divisions on both sides of the fence. Let's talk about do y'all want to stay with AEW? Do you want to talk about WWE anymore? We could talk about something else. Do y'all believe in Joe Hendry? Anything? Just let me know. Uh let's talk about Cody Rhodes for a second. What do y'all see next for Cody Rhodes? I mean, eventually I would like to see a heel Randy Orton go against a babyface Cody Rhodes for the title and do this, mentor versus student type thing. At first it could be a respect match, and then like the second match could be the heel versus babyface type thing. That's eventually. It's not going to happen right away. So, with that being said, what do you do with Cody Rhodes right now? Do you have him defend the title in Saudi Arabia already, or do you wait? What do we do here? That's the question. Cody Rhodes, he needs something interesting that's going to keep things going to where you question whether or not he's going to lose the title or not, where it's not so undeniably obvious that he's going to keep winning and winning and winning. But at the same time, it's kind of like he's coasting. So I don't know what you do with him right this second. It's kind of hard. He's just kind of there. A lot of people weren't excited about his match at Backlash with AJ Styles. They're like, "Oh, this is the build is bad and all this other kind of stuff." There's not really a build. We all know that Cody Rhodes is going to win. Blah, 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 blah. But because the crowd at the crowd in France was so hot that match looked bigger than it really was, and so that was a lot of fun to see. I'm a huge fan of both guys, Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. I love them both. We all knew that Cody was going to win, but it was still a fun match to watch. I will never ever be upset about seeing AJ Styles on my television. Huge fan of AJ Styles. I don't know if you can see that. I have a poster that my sister-in-law painted for me, and AJ Styles signed it right there. You see that? That's his signature. So that was pretty cool. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's a picture of AJ actually signing the poster. So huge fan of AJ Styles. Of course, as a Georgia girl, AJ Styles up there. Cody Rhodes up there, another Georgia boy. We had two Georgia boys in the main event of a pay-per-view overseas. That was really cool to see. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Who should be next for Cody Rhodes? What do you do for him right now while we're just kind of waiting around for bigger things to happen? How do you keep your world champion busy? What do you do with him? Is the question. On the other side of the road there, Cody's on SmackDown. The other world champion is Damian Priest. And I don't know what you do with him either. I know eventually it'll be Damian Priest. My guess is that it's going to be Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre at Clash of the Castle in June. And Drew McIntyre will get his title back. And then we're off to the races for CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship coming up maybe at SummerSlam, is my guess. That's how I would go with that. With that being said, I'm a huge Damian Priest fan. I call him Priesty. I love my Priesty. But let's face it, he's not going to have this title for very long. He's keeping it company for eventually for Drew McIntyre to win in Scotland. This is what's going to happen more than likely. But at the same time, I want what little time with the World Heavyweight Championship with Damian Priest, I want it to mean something. I don't want it to just be a throwaway reign, right? Because I'm a fan of Damian Priest. And you can tell that he really cares about what he's doing. And he's working really hard to make it into something. He's not perfect by any chance, but who is, if I was on there, good grief, I would be the worst professional wrestler on the planet. I'd be stumbling over my words. I'd be nervous. I'd be like, ow, that hurts. And I don't want to do this. What are we doing? Boo hoo, take me home. I would be horrible. So I don't want to judge too much, but but I love Damian Priest. He's one of my favorites, and I hope when he does lose the title that it's not going to make him look too bad. That's all, because I really want good things to happen for Damian Priest. I can see the Judgment Day kind of imploding, and maybe we have something with Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at some point. Ooh, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that, guys. Let's do Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Let's do that. I'm going to go with that. What about Cody and LA Knight? Cody and LA Knight are both good guys. I don't see, the thing is that Cody can't lose, but LA Knight needs to win. I don't know. I don't know if I would put two baby faces against each other right now. She also says, with Drew winning, that'll add huge fuel to the fire with CM Punk. Exactly. So she also liked Priest better when he was solo. I'm trying. I'm trying. She just said I'm cute. Thank you. I try my best. Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. They could go in so many directions. That's what I love about professional wrestling, guys. I love this so much. Because of the stories, because of the scenarios, because of being able to sit and think about it. Okay, which way are we going to go? What can they do? What would be so much fun to watch? And then, most of the time they don't go the way that I think they are, but it's fine what they do, obviously, and it's a lot of fun to watch. But kind of when you sit here and you're thinking, okay, what if they do this and what if they do that? And then they actually do that on television and it, unfolds before your very eyes. And you're like, oh man, this is so cool. You know, that's what I love about professional wrestling. I like the athleticism. Yes, I like the matches. I like to watch how they put all of that stuff together athletically and how they make it work. And the endurance and the determination to be the best that they can be and that they can do all of these incredible things. Um it it just fascinates me to no end, on the athletic side. So there's that part, but what really sparks my fire and what really gets me going and why I've been a fan of this for so long, for 30 plus years, is the story, is the plot, the struggle between the two. Uh who's going to do who's going to do what are they going to do? This is the end goal. How are they going to get to it? You know, it's a roller coaster ride. It's so fascinating. I That is the part of professional wrestling that I am in love with the most is the story part. It gets me going. It gets me going. I'm always been a story girl. I'm an avid reader. I love movies, and that's why I love professional wrestling so much, is because of the stories that they tell day in and day out, the characters that they portray, and just how they get from one place to the other. It's just it's mind-boggling and fascinating to me. The creativity that these men and women have all the time to be able to do that and pull it off on a huge level. Yes, sometimes it doesn't go the way that they think it's going to go. Sometimes things work and sometimes it doesn't. I'm not saying that anybody's perfect, but for the most part, the way that they do this and pull it off is just amazing. And even when it doesn't work and it crashes and they burn, the way that these people rise from the ashes like a phoenix and keep going and are still motivated and continue to do this thing, because if it was me and I did one thing and it didn't work out, I would have a hard time with that and I would want to give up and quit. But they don't. They're like, "Okay, this is a lesson learned and we're going to look at this and the next time I'm going to do better." So I love it. I love it so much. My good friend Shane is here. Hello, Shane. Welcome to the show. And he says, as much as I like FTR, I just don't see what else they can do in AEW. AEW needs more competition besides the Acclaimed. And I am going to agree with that statement. One thing I loved about AEW when they got started in 2019 was that they had a huge, solid um tag team division. I loved their tag team division. You never knew who was going to be the tag team champions and it was fun. Now it's just like there's nobody. It's dead in the water and it's really sad. I mean, 2019 you had FTR, obviously the Young Bucks, but you also had Private Party. They were doing really great stuff. You had the Lucha Brothers. Um, you had all of these really cool tag teams at any point could become champions because they were, just the way that division was going. It was really hot, and now it's not. And now all we got is the Young Bucks and FTR, and it's sad. I'm hoping at some point, either on Ring of Honor or on AEW, that that they'll give some time to the workhorsemen. Anthony Henry and JD Drake are two phenomenal wrestlers. Amazing. And they would do some fantastic work with FTR. So at some point, I want to see the Workhorsemen and FTR for some tag team championships. Erica is asking one more question. How do you feel about Rampage being on Saturdays after Collision? I don't know, because I don't really feel one way or the other about Rampage. When they first started it, it was exciting television and it was fun to see. But now it's just where they hide the people they don't have any, where they hide people at. And they don't have a lot of viewers on their usual thing. They're doing better. They do better when it's tacked onto Collision, I think, but for the most part, I don't watch Rampage. It's just not interesting to me. It's not worth my time anymore, unfortunately. Nothing ever happens on there. My good friend Elvis is here and he says, "Hey, hey." And you know what? Just for you, Elvis, since you graced us with your presence oh so magnificently. Just for you.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
Erica says, I honestly like it better on Saturdays instead of Friday nights at 10. There you go. Hear that, Tony Khan? You have one person who wants it on Saturdays instead of Friday nights. I don't know how much he has a say-so in that. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. It is 6:30 and I need some food. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me for my little impromptu live stream here where we were just kind of just talking about wrestling and having a good time with each other. Thank y'all so much for joining me. We will be here next week. Not exactly sure what's on the agenda, but we will be here next week. So I'll see y'all later. Bye, lovely peaches.
Good night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night, sweet peach. It's the end of the show. We hate to leave, but we really can't stay. So good night, sweet